the easy thing about culture is trail mix, kombucha, and benefits. Like we think that's what our culture is, right?
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on culture and how that should look inside of a dental practice and really inside of a DSO? And this is something that I've noticed from the outside is that you'll talk to a DSO and they're like, we have amazing culture. And you meet with the DSO folks and they do, but then you talk to the people who work at the office and they're like, I hate it here, right? Like there's
Yeah.
almost two cultures going on right now. And it seems like there are some people that are solving that and working on that. But what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, there's a lot. The first thing I want to point out, like everybody's talking about it, but it's hard, dude. Like if culture was easy, everybody'd be happy right now.
Yep.
And as much as every dental conference I go to, that's all anybody wants to talk about is culture. But to your point, our scores aren't as good as we think they are. And, we all live with a certain amount of self deception about what's really going on in our culture, too. And so, the other thing is that culture is expensive. I gotta
Yeah.
be really
Yeah.
culture sounds like a great investment to make until you're pushing out the money and
Yeah.
like
Well, just
not
like
getting what you
benefits,
think.
like it's like, oh, should probably give our team amazing health benefits, right? And it's like, well, that's expensive.
One of the things that like the easy thing about culture is trail mix, kombucha, and benefits. Like we think that's what our culture is, right? Like, oh, we've got a kombucha bar, and that's actually not culture. The hard thing about culture is it's our actual behaviors and our actual integration and like being true to what we said. And that's hard as crap. And that's why culture doesn't turn out the way we think. And so, to your point about what happens in DSOs, my experience is we have a macro culture and we have micro cultures, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to
We
put it.
experienced in our own dental group, this started happening because like we had the macro culture, which was a small set of shared behaviors and values that really define who the right people are, the things that we have fun doing, how we interact with ourselves and our patients, right? That's the macro. But the other thing we discovered is we had to, instead of trying to force all that macro culture down everybody's throats, we realized microcultures were still important, right? And that they were still going to happen no matter what. And what I mean by a microculture is we realized we had this office that was like just a bunch of nerds. And I love nerds,
Yeah.
but they were like into crazy role play games like these like Dungeons and Dragons and all these they had this kitschy culture that was their own that was important for us to leave space for. Because what happens in the world is we try to make our macro cultures just so strong that it forces out anything else. We had to learn that what best served both our patients and our teams was that we left a little bit of room for a microculture that wasn't ever in contrast, that could be in harmony with the macro culture of the organization. For us to think that in these mega dental groups of 1,000 locations and stuff like that we can have one macro culture that everybody shares, that's just crap, dude. Like, come on, that doesn't happen in any company, and it's also not what our new generational dynamic of team members wants to own.